Mikazuki strangling people does not get problem solved unless you're in murderer time. Like, he's there, like, the guy nearly accidentally, like, killed, like, 2 kids and all that. Well, mind you, it was, like, mainly their fault and everything. He goes out without even hearing the side of the conversations or anything like that. Just goes up to the driver and jokes the fuck out of him, not saying anything, and just a simple tap on his head saying, hey, stop. And it's just like, oh, sorry. Like, you don't just say, like, as you was, like, literally killing this guy, like, or hanging him up like that. It's like, oh, yeah, that was my bad, actually, kind of. Yeah, sorry. He's not even really sorry. It's just like, yeah, shit happens, really. It's like, come the fuck on. Like, so you get to see from this episode of, like, this episode of Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans was actually very more interesting. This is like the one how this really reminded me, especially in this episode, really reminded me of kind of like, I'd like to say it was either the first or the second Gundam movie of the original, like, where it was like a lot more political heavy than it was. It wasn't just like, you know, how it is in like a lot of the other series. So a lot of people probably saw like Wing and like Double O and stuff like, oh yeah, action every movie, action. This was like a very more toned down kind of like going into more political, like what exactly is the Tekkadan's like plan is, like, you know, they're gonna actually like take like, you know, Ida to like all the way to Earth to get their money, and it's like, yeah, they're trying to do their plans and they're trying to like set stuff up for the battle for like coming up for next week's episode. So a lot of it was like very basic, like kind of like seeing that, you know, there's some shady shit, that fucking piece of shit with the fucking Hitler mustache there. We know he's on there. He's evil as fuck. Like, he seems like he's gonna like stab them back. To be fair though, we knew that he was gonna do some shady shit from pretty much day one. So it seems like, you know, he's gonna sell out the Tekkadan for some information or like something, like he's probably like wiring information to Yellowhorn or something like that. So I feel like that's what his probably plan is, but honestly, a lot of it was really focusing, like, Orga didn't really feel like a part of this episode for the most part. He was just there, and it was mainly Mikazuki trying to bond, I guess, with, like, Ida, like, Birdside. Like, it was kind of weird, and even seeing, like, that other girl as well, like, Asta, or whatever her name is, it's just, like, talking to her, it's just, like, she's getting, like, so sorry about, oh, it's, like, I want to be with Mikazuki, and it's, like, having that little romance thing, it's, like, oh, yeah, I got this little bracelet thing showing it. So, I'm kind of curious, like, what is their story? Because, obviously, she knows how much of a messed up person he is, like pretty much like strangling motherfuckers and all that, but she still loves him for that. So I'm very curious exactly what is their relationship. I thought I was kind of expecting to see in this episode a lot more of that going into it. I was really shocked to see that we did not see a lot of it, but it was like, yeah, we kind of saw like a more lighter side of like everyone, and like finding out there was some dark, messed up stuff, like mainly with human debris, which are like some of the people that used to work in the CGO like that actually were the human slaves pretty much, where they were like, yeah, they just bought their rights, and even still, if you're born off, like you're not allowed to work because of the fact that you are like a slave, and it's like have ownership rights, like, you know, regardless of what, those people that Orc and all them killed, yeah, that was the owners, and it's like, no matter what, like, you pretty much stuck here for life. And it's like that big guy with all his people, like, they finally was able to get the stuff that they wanted, and it's like, hey, you can stay if you want with us if you want to, but, you know, you're doing that as a free man, not because we own you or anything. And I kind of respected that in that part of the episode, and seeing, you know, they set up the cool little logo, little flower and stuff like that, and it was like them pretty much getting all official and stuff. So kind of interested in that. And then we actually got saw like Gjallarhorn's like top dogs and all that. Honestly, from like how they're seeing like there's like, you know, the blonde hair and stuff, it's like, come on, we all know who that he's trying to intimidate and all that. Like, we all know from the original Gundam who the hell that is. I mean, just saying there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised he had a certain red mech or something like that, because he's really looking a bit like Shah. I mean, I remember in Reconquista that they had one guy that was trying to do that whole thing as well, where he had the helmet and all that. So I wouldn't be surprised if this guy tried to pull some shit like that later on in the series as well. But, you know, they had a little suspect of them, and they kind of went on their own merry way. And like I said, that was pretty much most of the episode and all that. And it's like, yeah, it was a decent one for it, but it was like, this is definitely the weakest one we've had so far. It doesn't mean it's a bad episode, but it was just like, for a lot of the kind of the episode it was doing, it was really setting up for like a lot of stuff later to come in the series, and going a little bit more political heavy, which I do like what it does in Gundam. But, you know, maybe we could have already gone into like little space action or starts heading off to Earth in this episode. But I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It was fine. But also as well, before we actually cut off this video, there was some very nice information to know that about actually a lot of things about the Gundam series. So it was actually said in MCM like Comic-Con that they, you know, there was a lot of series coming out recently, like we're going to be getting the original Gundam set you don't know, that's already out, I believe, in the UK, I believe. We're going to get, you know, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta, Turn 8 Gundam, Reconquista, and I can heavily say I would really like a lot of you guys to support series, like, you know, like, because I believe they're really planning on saying, like, you know, they really want to focus on the Universal Century titles since 2016, and they want to move out, so, you know, they plan to release the other stuff, you know, like Wing Gundam and Double O and stuff like over here in the UK, and definitely they want to re-release a lot of that stuff in the US as well. So I would really ask, you know, to support them, because they even said, it's like, you know, because a lot of people are really enjoying Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's like there is a possibility for this to come out, but we really need to see if like the Gundams sell well, both not only in the UK but in the US as well. So I would ask a lot of you guys to, you know, support the Gundams. I'm definitely picking up the original Gundam series. I'm looking forward to that. I personally watched the movies, so I'm looking forward to watching the actual how it was in the TV series. I've heard the movies are superior, but even still I'd like to support and see what that actually looks like, what it is like, you know, originally what it was supposed to be in. But honestly, that's pretty much all the information I got to let you guys know. So let's support. Honestly, I can't wait until we get build fighters and stuff over here, because I heard we already got a license over there. So I'm really excited for when we get that stuff, because that is the stuff I want to own in Gundam. But that's honestly all from me. So thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys next time.